curve obtained as the intersection of the surface of a cone within a plane. In other words, a figure formed by the intersection of a plane and a right circular cone. Depending on the angle of the plane with respect to the cone, a conic section may be a circle, an ellipse, a parabola, or a hyperbola.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah FAVOREAL and today we're going to tackle about circle. So let's first define what is circle. Circle is the set of all points in a plane that are a fixed distance from a given point. So we will solve some problems on how to turn general form into standard form. So we have here the given of general forms, which is x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 4y minus 7 is equals to 0. So the first step we need to do is rearrange the given. So it will be x squared minus 10x plus y squared plus 4y is equals to 7. Kaya siya naging 7 kasi nagtranspose tayo. Then next is regroup to make the expression perfect square trinomial. So we have x squared minus 10x plus blank plus y squared plus 4y plus blank is equals to 7 plus blank plus blank. Kaya tayo nag-add ng dalawang blank to make the equation balance. So next, let's make our expression inside the parenthesis a perfect square trinomial. Get the middle term of negative 10, so that will be divided by 2 is it will be 5, then 5 squared, so it will be 25. Then for this one, get the middle term of 4y, so it will be 4 divided by 2 is 2, then 2 squared, so 4. Then we will add this 2 in the right side. Then we are going to write it by binomial, so we have x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared is equals to 36. Then that is our standard form. Y minus 15 is equals to 0. So first step again is to rearrange our given, so it will be x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 6y is equals to 15. We moved the constant to the right side. So next is regroup to make it a perfect square trinomial. So we have x squared plus 2x plus blank plus y squared minus 6y plus blank is equals to 15 plus blank plus blank. So next step is to make our expression inside the parenthesis a perfect square trinomial. Get the middle term of 2, so divided by 2, that is 1, and 1 squared, so 1 times 1, that is positive 1. Then next is get the middle term of negative 6, so negative 6 divided by 2, that is negative 3. Negative 3 squared, so 3 times 3, that is positive 9. Then add lang natin siya dito sa magkabila. Then we're going to write it by binomial. So x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equals to 15. Then that is our standard form. So we have here our given, which is x plus 5 raised to 2 plus y minus 3 raised to 2 is equals to 49. So the first step we need to do is square the first term, so that will become x squared. And second step is multiply the first and second term, so x times 5, that is 10x, plus square the second term, 5 squared, that is 25, and copy the plus sign. Now square the first term, that is y squared, then multiply the first and second term, that is negative 3y times 2, negative 6y. Then square the second term, that is positive 9, that is equals to 49. And now combine like terms, so that is x squared plus 10x, and we can combine the 25 and 9 here, so let's just copy the y squared minus 6y, then 25 plus 9 is equals to 34, then let's just copy the 49. And now let's rearrange our equation, so x squared, then copy the positive y squared plus 10x minus 6y plus 34 in our general form. That is equated to 0. Then we need to subtract 49. So here it is. Then it is equal to 0. Then let us combine. So x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 6y. Then 34 minus 49, that is negative 15, so that is equals to 0, and that is our general form. So we have here our second example on how to find the general form of the circle. So here's our given. X plus 5 raised to 2 plus y minus 1 raised to 2 is equals to 9. So the first step we need to do is square the first term, so that will become x squared. Then second step, multiply the first and second term. So x times 5, that is 10x, plus square the second term, 5 square, that is 25. Then copy the plus sign. Now square the first term, so that is y squared. Then multiply the first and second term, so times 2, that is negative 2y. Then square the second term, that is positive 1, then equals to 9. And now combine like terms, so that is x squared plus 10x minus 2y, then 25 plus 1, so that is 26, is equals to 9. Again, our general form is equated to 0, so x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 2y plus 26 minus 9 is equals to 0. Then let us combine 26 minus 9. So x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 2y. Then that is 15 plus 15. Then it is equal to 0. Then that is our general form.
So hi guys, I'm REFAIH SARIP from HSP S1 of CIS Manila, and in this part of the video, I'm going to teach you how to convert or get the properties of a parabola given the general equation, and how to get the general equation given the properties of a parabola. So first of all, let us identify what is parabola. Parabola is a set of all points in a plane that is equidistant to a specific point called focus and specific line called directrix. So to put it simply, suppose that this is our parabola, and right here this point is our focus, and this point below the focus is the vertex, and this line is the directrix, right? So the parabola wants to say is that the distance of focus to the vertex or any other point right here, is equidistant to the distance of vertex to the directrix. So they are equidistant. The distance from here is equidistant to the distance from vertex. Okay? From vertex to directrix and points to directrix. So just like that. And this point right here that passes through focus is called axis of symmetry. And we also have latus rectum. It is a line segment that passes through focus. So parabola, just like any other conic section, it also have general equation, but it varies upon the axis of parabola. For vertical axis, we have ax squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equals to 0. And for horizontal axis, we have by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equals to 0. And the standard equation of parabola is x minus h quantity squared is equals to 4p quantity y minus k. That is for vertical. And for horizontal, we have y minus k squared quantity squared is equals to 4p quantity x minus h. So that is the brief explanation of parabola. So now let us try to get the properties of a parabola given its general equation. But before that, let us try to understand how do we get the properties of a parabola. So the properties of parabola is axis, opening, vertex, focus, directrix, and LR, to the latus rectum. Okay, so for the axis, you have two, horizontal and vertical. For horizontal, it only opens in two directions, that is left or right. So when the parabola is in horizontal, it is either in left or right opening. Next is the vertex, of course, h comma k. Focus, h plus p comma k. Directrix x is equal to h minus p. And nr, it is 4p, or the latus rectum. So by the way, latus rectum is the line segment that passes through the focus, and p is the distance from focus to the vertex and vertex to the directrix. So LR is 4p. Next is the vertical. So the opening of vertical is upward or downward. Vertex of vertical is the same, h comma k. Focus is h comma k plus p, and directrix is y equals k minus p, and LR is 4. Okay? So let us try to apply that to this general equation. So first thing we need to do is we need to convert this general equation into standard form. Okay? So how do we do that? First is to group similar terms or like terms. So x squared plus 8x equals negative 16y minus 64. Okay? So we move this 16y and positive 64 to the left hand side, making them a negative number. So when we move values to the left hand side, they should be changed. The signs of them should be changed. Okay. So now that we have a perfect square binomial, okay, we should convert them into perfect square binomial. So x squared plus 8x plus blank, okay, parenthesis, and negative 16y minus 64 plus blank. Okay. So in order for us to get the perfect perfect square trinomial, we should divide this 8 into 2 and square the quotient of it. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 squared is 16. So whatever quotient that whatever result that we get from this middle term that is what we will going to add in this left hand side. So x squared plus 8x plus 16 is equals to negative 16y minus 64 plus 16. So let us factor it out. X, so the factor of x squared plus 8x plus 16, since it is a perfect square trinomial, is x plus 4. Okay. Now for the left hand side we have negative 16y. Okay. Combine these two terms. That is negative 64 plus 16. Negative 64 plus 16. Minus 16 rather. Is negative 48. Okay. Negative 48. So now we have, no, this can be factored out. So negative 16 y minus 14. Sorry, y minus 3. Y minus 3. How did we get the 3? We divide 48 to the negative 16, so we get negative 3. To that. Okay, so x plus 4 squared is equal to negative 16, quantity y minus 3. So we just have to factor them out. Okay, so now we have the standard equation. This is now the standard equation of the given general equation. So the next thing we need to do is to get the properties of this parabola. So first thing we need to do is to identify what kind of axis is this. So obviously that is vertical axis. Vertical. And the opening of that is, in order for us to identify what is the opening, is we just need to see what is the sign of the 4p. And our 4p is negative 16, so that is negative, therefore our opening is downward. Downward. Okay. So the next thing is to find the vertex. Vertex is negative 4, and positive 3. So this is the x1 vertex. Next is the focus. So we just need to see what is the formula for vertical downward in focus. That is h comma k plus p. So h k plus p. So we need first to get what is the p. So that is easy. We just have to equate this. 4p is equals to negative 16. Divide both sides by 4. That is negative 4. So our focus will be h comma k plus p. So negative 4, copy that. K plus p. Okay, so 3 plus negative 4, that is negative 7. So our focus is negative 4 comma negative 7. Next is directrix. Directrix. Okay, so that is easy as well. You just have to find vertical downward. Y is equals to k minus p. So y is equals to k minus p. We just have to subtract the k to p. So 3 minus negative 4 is 3 minus negative 4 is 1. Right? And our LR, of course, is the 4p. What is our 4p? That is negative 16. But LR should always be positive. Okay, so we put that 60. So that is how we do, or how we get the properties of a parabola, of a vertical parabola, given the general equation. So, another example for converting or getting the properties of a parabola given its general equation. Okay. So, this second example is y squared plus 16x is equals to 0. As you can see, there is no any other terms for this general equation, but we will try to follow the previous steps on how to get it or how to convert it into standard form. So y squared, the first thing we need to do is to separate them. Y squared plus 0 equals to negative 16x plus 0. So again, let us factor them out. Y squared plus 0, okay, plus blank, parenthesis, is equals to negative 16x plus 0 plus blank. So obviously, 0 divided by 0 is 0, and 0 squared is 0. So we put that 0 in the left hand side. Simplify them. You have y plus 0 squared, quantity squared, is equals to negative 16. Simplify this, you just have to simplify that. Negative 16x plus 0. Okay? So let us rewrite this. Y plus 0 squared. Okay? And we just have to group this. Negative 16x plus 0. There's no factor for this because it is 0. So 0 divided by 16 is 0. Okay, so we have now the standard equation, or the standard form of this parabola. So let us try to get the properties. So the axis is, first thing we need to do is, again, y plus 0 squared. That is obviously a horizontal axis. Horizontal. Because it passes through the y-axis. Okay, the parabola passes through the y-axis. Okay, so the next properties is opening. The opening of this is, you just have to see the 40, which is negative, therefore that is openings in left hand side. In left direction. Left. Next properties is vertex. So the vertex of this is 0 and 0. Next, focus. So the focus of horizontal is h plus p comma k. So what is the p here? Okay. Let us try to get the p for p is equals to negative 16. Divide both sides by 4. That is negative 4. So our p is negative 4. So for the formula of focus in horizontal, it is h plus p. So 0 plus negative 4 is negative 4, comma 0. Just copy the k. Okay. Next is directrix. Directrix. Okay. For directrix in horizontal, that is x. That is x is equals to h minus p. So what is our h here? That is 0 minus negative 4. So 0 minus negative 4, that is positive 4. So x is equals to 4. And our LR lastly our LR is the 40. What is our 40? Negative 16. But LR should always be positive, therefore it is 16. Okay. Directrix is in x. Okay. Directrix is in x because the directrix of this parabola is in passes through the x-axis. Okay, So if the directrix is x, therefore it is horizontal, and if it is in y, therefore it is vertical. So that is how we get the properties of a parabola given its general equation. Okay, so in this example, we will try to identify how to get the general equation given the properties of a parabola. So by doing that, we should firstly convert these properties into standard equation. And to convert them into standard equation, you will initially complete these HAP components. Okay? So obviously we have the vertex. So vertex is HA. So our H is 0 and negative 3 is our K. So now we just have to get the P component. So by getting the P, we will have to get the axis first. We will try to identify first the axis of this property by seeing or identifying what is being changed or unchanged in these components. So obviously H is the H component from vertex has become 2 in focus. So obviously it has been increased. So in horizontal, the H is being added to P. Therefore, this properties is in horizontal axis. Okay, horizontal. Okay. So in this case, our axis is horizontal because our vertex is given. So we will just have to easily identify what is being added or unchanged. So now that we have the axis, we will have the formula on how do we get the focus in horizontal. So that is H plus P comma K. So H plus P comma K. So the formula of H plus P, okay, sorry, the formula of focus is H plus P. So how do we get the P? By the formula of focus, right? We will just have to use the substitution method. Like H plus P is equals to 2. Okay, substitute available values. So we have H, so 0 plus P. That is negative, sorry, that is 2. So therefore our P is 2. Okay. Now that we have completed the HAT components, we will try to we can now substitute them in the standard equation. But before that, take note that our axis is horizontal. Therefore, horizontal standard equation is what we will use in this situation. So standard equation is y minus k. So what is our k? That is negative 3, and negative plus negative is positive. So plus 3 squared is equals to 4p. What is our 4p? What is our p? 2. Just have to multiply it by 4 first to get the 4p. 2 times 4 is 8. Parentheses, x minus h. What is our h? That is 0. So x minus 0. Now that you have the standard equation, you can now have the general equation by expanding them. So y squared plus 6y. Okay. We just have to multiply 3 to the 2. 3 times 2 is 6 times y, that is 6y, plus 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, is equals to 8x. You just have to distribute them. 8x and 8 times 0 is 0. So now we just have to combine them. Right? So y squared plus minus 8x, because you will move this 8x into the right hand side. Sorry, the left hand side. So minus 8x plus 6y plus 9. Okay, is equals to 0. Therefore, this is our general equation. So another example, or the last example for our getting the general equation from properties of a parabola, from a given properties of a parabola. So first thing we need to do is to convert these properties into standard equation, and by doing that, we just have to complete this HKP components. So by doing that, so obviously we have the vertex. So we will have to use this vertex. So our H is negative 12 and our K is negative 6. So we will have to find the P on D in this situation. So by getting the P, first we need to do is to identify what is the axis of this parabola. So it says here it is upward. Okay, so therefore that is vertical. And aside from that, even though the opening is not in the given properties, the directrix is here, and it says here it is y is equal to negative 17, and y-axis, directrix that passes through y is automatically vertical, because focus is always above the directrix. Okay, so our axis is vertical. Okay, so our axis is vertical. Now that we have identified the axis, we can now identify what is the formula that is being used to get the directrix. So obviously that is k minus p. So y is equals to k minus p. Therefore, k minus p is equals to negative 17. Okay, we just have to use the substitution method to get the p. Okay, k minus p is equals to negative 17. Okay, and our k is negative 6. Okay, we just have to substitute them. Then move the negative 6 to the right hand side, making it positive. Okay, negative p is equal to negative 17 plus 6, giving us the answer of negative 11. So negative p is equal to negative 11, but we will have to cancel this negative on both sides. So we have p is equals to 11. So our p is 11. Now that we have completed the HKP components, we can now derive them or substitute them in our standard equation. So since this is a vertical parabola, we will use this vertical standard equation, which is x minus h. What is our h? That is negative 12. So negative plus negative, that is positive. Okay? The negative times negative, that is positive. So x plus 12 squared is equals to 40. What is our 40? Our p is 11. So you just have to multiply it by 4 for you to get the 40. So that is 44. So we will have just to erase this. So 44 over 40. Next is the y minus k. Y minus k, our k is negative 6. Therefore this is positive 6. So now this is our standard equation. We have just to expand this for us to get the general equation in this form. X squared plus 12 times 2, that is 24, times x, that is 24x. And 12 squared, that is 144 plus 144 equals 44. You just have to distribute that in every term inside the parentheses. That is 44y plus 44 times 6, that is 6, 12, 18, 24, 264. Okay? So this is because 44 times 6 is 264. So you will just have to move this right hand side to the left hand side for you to get the general equation. So x squared plus 24x minus 44y. You move this 44y to the left hand side, therefore it will be negative. Okay, plus 144 minus 264. Okay, because you move this 264 to the left hand side for you to follow this format of general equation. So Now that we get this general equation, we can still simplify these two terms, these two numbers. Okay? So, giving us the final answer of x squared plus 24x minus 44y. Okay? 144 minus 264, that is negative 120 equals 0. Therefore, this is our general equation of these given properties of vertical parabola. So that is all. Thank you for watching.
Hello, so I will be presenting ellipse. So what is an ellipse? Ellipse is a set of all points in a plane whose sum of the distance from two fixed points called foci are constant. An ellipse has standard and general equation. The standard equation of an ellipse is quantity squared x minus h over a squared plus quantity squared y minus k over b squared is equal to 1. And the general equation of an ellipse is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equal to 0, where a and b should not be equal and a and b is greater than 0. And ellipse has properties. The properties of an ellipse are consist of axis, which can be horizontal or vertical, center, foci, vertices, co-vertices, major axis, minor axis, and lastly, the latus rectum. And for us to better understand an ellipse, I prepared some examples for us to apply these equations. For this example, the given is vertices at 1, 7 and 1, negative 7 and one of the co-vertices at negative 1, 0. We are solving from properties to general equation. So to solve this, we need to find h, k, a, and b. So h, k, a, and b. To solve for h, k, and b, we need to refer to this table. So, as we can observe, vertices at 1, 7 and 1, negative 7, we can observe that 1, the x-coordinate are the same. So, the vertices that has the same x-coordinate for h is the vertical. We will be using h, k plus or minus b. So vertices at h, k plus or negative b, and also here, so h, k, b. So we can say that our h is 1. One of the co-vertices at negative 1, 0. So since this one is a vertical, since this one is vertical, we will be referring to this, which is h plus or minus a, k. So h plus or minus a, k. So our k is 0. And to solve for a, we will be using this. So h plus a, which plus a is equal to negative 1. And since we already have h, we will be putting 1 here. So 1 plus a is equal to negative 1. A is equal to negative 1 minus negative 1 is negative 2. Or A is equal to 2. So our A is 2. To solve B, we will be referring to this. H, comma, K plus B. So K plus B. Is equal to, since this one is higher, this will be our K plus B. Since the other one is negative, so 7. And since our K is 0, K 0 plus B is equal to 7. 7 minus 0 is B is equal to 7. So our B is 7. We need to substitute this using the standard equation. So X minus, so our H is 1. So minus 1 plus K is 0, we can put Y squared is equal to 1. And to get A squared, so A squared, we need to use this. So A squared is 4. And for B squared, B squared is equal to 49. And after that, we need to get the LCD. So the LCD of 4 and 49 is 196. And after that, we need to multiply both sides. So 49 plus 4y minus 0 is equal to 196. After that, we need to expand this. X squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 4 y squared minus 0y plus 0 is equal to 196. And after that, we need to multiply 49 and we also need to multiply 4. 49 x squared. 49 times negative 2x is negative 98x. Negative 98x plus 49. Plus 4 multiplied by y squared is 4y squared. 4y squared minus 196 is equal to 0. And after that, we need to combine like terms by referring to the general equation. So 49 x squared plus 4y squared minus 98x minus 0y. And after that, we need to add this. So 49 minus 196 is 49 minus 196 is negative 147. Is equal to 0. And this is our final answer. So for this example, we will be solving from general equation to standard equation, and we need to solve for properties. In order to solve this, we need to group them. Squared. So we need to group them first. So x squared minus 4x plus, so negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is equal to 4. So plus 4. And plus 4y squared. For y squared. Since there's no other y in the given, we will be putting 0, 0y. So plus 0y is equal to 12. And after that, we can factor this out. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So we only have 4y squared here. We will be putting 4y squared. So 4y squared is equal to, since we have 4 here, we need to add 4 here. So 12 plus 4 is 16. So 16. And after that, we need to divide it both sides. So negative 16. And after that, we need to divide it both sides. So negative 16. This will remain the same, and we need to divide 16 by 4. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So plus 16 divided by 16 is 1. So this is the standard form. So for us to solve for the properties, we need to identify first A, B, and C. So A, you just need to get the square root of this. So A, square root of 16 is 4. So 16 minus 4 is 12. So the square root of 12 is 2 square root of 3. Since A is higher than B, we can say that this given axis is horizontal. So horizontal. And since our axis is horizontal, we will be referring to this table. So center is positive 2, 0. I, F, H plus C. So 2 plus 2 square root of 3. So comma K. So K is 0. So, And 2 minus 2 square root of 3 is 0. And the next for vertices, h plus 8, h, 2, 2 plus 8 is 6. So 6 and comma k, 0. And vertices, we will be using h, comma, k plus or minus b. H, 2, 0 plus b, 0 plus 2 is 2. And is negative 2. To solve for major axis, we will be using 2a. So 2a, a is 4, so 4. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. For minor axis, 2b. So our b is 2. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. And lastly, the latus recto. So for the latus recto, we will be using 2b squared divided by 8. So b squared, 2 squared is 4. Over a is 4. So 4. And we need to cancel this out. So the answer is 2. And this is our property. This example is solving from properties to a general equation. For us to solve for this, we need to find h, k, a, and b. We need to refer to this table. So in this table, so the given is center at 5, comma, negative 4. The length of the horizontal major axis is 8 and the length of the minor axis is 6. So we can refer to this table. Since the center is h, comma, k, we can say that 5 is h and negative 4 is k. And since it is stated that the length of the horizontal major axis is 8, we can say that this ellipse is vertical. Major axis of a vertical ellipse is 2b. So this 8 is 2b. And the length of the minor axis is 6. So the length of minor axis, so the length of the minor axis is 2, 8. So 6 is 2, 8. So again, center at 5, comma, negative 4. So h is 5. K is negative 4. And since the major axis is 2b, we can divide this by 2 to get b. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So b is 4. To get a, we also need to divide 6 by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So a is 3. And the next step is to substitute. So quantity squared x minus h over a squared plus y, quantity squared y minus k over b squared is equal to 1. So, and this is our h, negative 5 plus y, or since k is negative 4, it will become positive 4. So y plus get a squared, we need to square this 3. So 3 squared is equal to 9. And also we also need to get b squared. So b is 4. So 4 squared is equal to 16. Equal to 1. And after we substitute, we need to get the LCD of 16 and 9. So the LCD of 16 and 9 is 144. Quantity squared x minus 5 plus 9 y plus 4 y plus 4 is equal to 144. And after this, we need to expand this. 16 x squared minus 10x plus 25. 9 y squared plus 8y plus 16. 9. And after that, we need to multiply 16, and also we need to multiply 9. So 16 squared, 16 x squared, 16 times negative 16 times negative 10x is negative 160x, and 16 times 25 equal to 400. So plus 400. And next 9. So 9 multiplied by y squared. So 9y squared. And 9 multiplied by 8y is 72y. And 9 times 16 is 144 plus 144. And the 144 here, we can add it here. So negative 144 is equal to 0. And after that, we need to combine like terms. Follow the general equation. So 16x squared plus 9y squared minus 160x plus 72y and we need to add 400 plus 144 minus 144 400 plus 400 is equal to 0, and this is the final answer. example, we will be solving for from general to standard to properties. So the first step is to group them. So 25x minus 25x minus 50x plus blank plus 4y squared 4y squared plus 8y plus blank is equal to 71. To find this, we need to factor this out. So, negative 50 divided by 25 is negative 2. So, 25 x. So, to get this, we need to divide this. So, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, and we need to square it. So, negative 1 squared is equal to positive 1. So, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So, 4 y squared plus 2y. And to get this, we need to divide this. So, negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we need to square it. So, 1 squared is equal to 1. It's equal to 71. We need to multiply this. So, 25 multiplied by 1 is 25. So, plus 25. And 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. And after that, we need to factor this out. So, 25 negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So, negative 1. Plus 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, y plus 1. We need to add this. So, 71 plus 25 plus 4. So, 71 plus 25 plus 4 is equal to 100. So, 100. And we need to multiply both sides. We need to divide 100 by 25 and 100 by 4. So, 100 divided by 25 is 4. So, x 100 divided by 4 is 25. So, and 100 divided by 100 is 1. Now for properties, we need to find A, B, and C. For A, the square root of 4 is 2. And for B, the square root of 25 is 5. To get C, we need to minus 4 from 25. So 25 minus 4 is 21. B is higher than A. We can say that this ellipse axis is vertical. And to solve for center, and after that we will be referring to this table. So center, so this is H and this is K. So center is H and comma K. So H is -1, but -1, so +1. And psi, so H, comma, K plus C. So H is 1 and K plus C. So K -1 plus square root of 21. -1 minus square root of 21. And this is our foci. 1 plus 5 is 4. And 1 minus 5 is -6. And to solve for CV or co-vertices, 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3. And our K is -1. So -1. -1 minus 2 is -1. So -1. And K, -1. So major axis, so 2 and B 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. So our major axis is 10. And to solve for minor axis, 2 and A. So 2. 2 times 2 is 4. To solve for LR, we will be using this 2A squared divided by B. So A squared, so 2 squared is equal to 4. So 4. Over B is 5. So 4 times 2 is 8. So 8. And over 5. And this is our properties.
A hyperbola in analytic geometry is a conic section that is formed when a plane intersects a double right circular cone at an angle such that both halves of the cone are intersected. This intersection of the plane and cone produces two separate unbounded curves that are mirrored images of each other called a hyperbola. A hyperbola is symmetric along the conjugate axis and shares many similarities with the ellipse. Concepts like foci, directrix, latus rectum, and eccentricity.
Before proceeding to the examples of equations of hyperbola, it is important for us to know first the standard equation, the general equation, and the properties of hyperbola. As we can see on the right side of the board, we can see the standard equation and the general equation of the hyperbola. For the standard equation, let us be familiar to the two orientation when it comes to our standard equation, which are the horizontal transverse axis and the vertical transverse axis. For the equation of horizontal transverse axis, we have the quantity x minus h squared over a squared minus quantity y minus a squared over b squared is equal to 1. For vertical transverse axis, we have quantity y minus k squared over b squared minus quantity x minus h squared over a squared is equal to 1. Looking at the equation, we can see that it is almost similar to the previous equation, which is the horizontal transverse axis. And the only difference is that the numerators are interchanged. This means that the graph of this equation is a hyperbola that is vertically oriented. For the general equation of the hyperbola, we have ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equal to 0. Let's now proceed to the properties of hyperbola. The properties of hyperbola are axis, center, foci, vertices, endpoints, transverse axis, and conjugate axis. For horizontal, we have the center h, k. For foci, h positive negative c, k. For vertices, we have h positive negative 8, k. Endpoints h, k positive negative b. For transverse axis, we have 2a, and for the conjugate axis is 2b. For vertical, it is similar to horizontal, which is h, k. For foci, h, k positive negative c. Vertices h, k positive negative b. For endpoints, h positive negative a, k. For its transverse axis is 2b, and the conjugate axis is 2a. And now we know the standard equation, general equation, and properties of hyperbola. And now let's proceed to the examples of hyperbola. So this is the first example of the equation of hyperbola, and we can see that the given is 4x squared minus y squared plus 16x plus 6y minus 9 is equal to 0. So this given, we will transform this general form to standard form of hyperbola. And the first thing that we need to do is to regroup them, or regroup the given, or regroup the like terms. So in this, regroup 4x squared plus 16x plus blank. We leave it blank because it will be a perfect square trinomial later. And minus y squared minus 6y plus blank is equal to 9. So why it became negative? It became negative 6y because negative times negative is equal to positive 6y. And positive y squared times negative is equal to negative y squared. And the second step that we did here is we get the common factor, which is the 4. So 4x squared, so 16 divided by 4 is 4. And in order for us to have a perfect square trinomial, we will divide this to negative 2 and square it. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared is equal to 4. And 6 divided by 2 is 3 times squared, 3 squared is equal to 9. And we will add 4 times 4 is 16. So we will add this to the right hand side. So it will be plus 16, and negative times 9 is negative 9. So in standard form, this part should be equal to 1. So we did here is we divided both sides 16 to have 1. So we will simplify this part. So 4 divided by 16 is 4 minus y minus 3 quantity squared over 16, and 16 over 16 is equal to 1. So here, this is our final answer for the standard form of hyperbola. So the next example is negative x plus 1 squared over 16 plus y minus 2 squared over 9 is equal to 1. So in this given example, we will transform this standard form to general form of hyperbola. So the first step is to find the least common denominator, or the LCD. So the least common denominator of 16 and 9 is 144. And the next step that we will do is 144 divided by 16. So negative 16, so it will be negative 9 times x plus 1 squared. Then 144 divided by 9 is 16 times y minus 2 squared is equal to 1 times 144 is equal to 144. So in this part, so the next step is we will factor this out. So negative 9 x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we will also factor this out. So 16 quantity y squared minus 4y plus 4 is equal to 144. Then we will multiply this negative 9 to x squared. So the answer will be negative x squared. Negative 9 times 2x times positive 2x is negative 8x, and negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. 16 times positive y squared is equal to 16y squared. 16 times negative 4y will be negative 64y, and 16 times positive 4 is positive 64. Then we will transfer this 144 to the left-hand side. So we will have negative 9 squared, and the first and the second step, or the last step that we need to do, is to arrange them. So we will have negative 9 squared plus 16y squared minus 18x minus 64. Then negative 9 plus 64 minus 144 is equal to negative 89 is equal to 0. So this will be our final answer for the general form of hyperbola. Square root of 16 is 4. So we have h2, comma, k plus b. So we have k, which is negative 3 plus 4 so we have 1. And for cosine ng 2, 2, comma, negative 7, because negative 3 minus 4 is equal to negative 7. For our vertices, we have h, comma, k, positive negative b, and our b is 4. And in order for us to find b, we need to find the square root of 4, which is 2. So our vertices is 2, comma, negative 1 and 2, comma, negative 5. For our endpoints, we have h, positive negative a, comma, k. So our endpoints are 2 plus 2 square root of 3, since this is the square root of 12, comma, negative 3 is the value of our k, and 2, negative 2 square root of 3, comma, negative 3. And for our transverse axis, we have 2b, and for our conjugate axis is 2a. So for 2b, so 2 times 2 is equal to 4, and 2 times 2 square root of 3 is 4 square root of 3. And that's how we find, or that's how we can solve for the properties of hyperbola. So in this example, we will now solve for the general form of hyperbola given the properties of it. So in this example, we have given foci quantity negative 1, 7, and quantity negative 1, negative 3, and conjugate axis 8. So the first step that we need to do is to find the axis of it. So in this example, the axis of it is vertical, since we have the same value of h, which is negative 1. And next is to identify the value of h, k, a, and p. So as I have mentioned earlier, the value of h is negative 1. And in order for us to find the value of h, in this table, we know that we can find that the foci is h, k, positive negative c. So we can find the value of k using the elimination method, since k plus c is equal to 7 and a minus c is equal to negative 3. So our value, so we need to eliminate c in order for us to find k. So k plus c is equal to 7 and k minus c is equal to negative 3. So 2k, we will cancel out positive c and negative c, and 2k is equal to 4, and we will divide it both sides by 2, so k is equal to 2. So our value of k is 2. Next is to find the value of a. So in conjugate axis, we have formula, or we have the formula 2a. So 2a is equal to 8, and divide it both sides by 2, so a is equal to 4. Next, we will find so when we know the value of a, so we can now solve for the value of c. Since we will substitute 2 to k plus c is equal to 7, since k is equal to 2. So 2 plus c is equal to 7, so c is equal to 5. And now we know the value of c, so we can use the Pythagorean theorem, which is c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And in order for us to find b, we will use the equation b squared is equal to a squared minus c squared. So our a squared is 16, since we need to square 4, which is 16. And also we need to square 5, which is 25. So 25 minus 16 is equal to 9, and square root of 9 is equal to 3. So our value of p is 3. In this part, we will solve for the standard form of we will first solve for the standard form of we will first solve for the standard form of hyperbola, then solve for the general form. So our standard formula is negative x plus 1 squared is equal to over 16 plus quantity y minus 2 squared over 9 is equal to 1. So the first step is we need to find the LCD. So the LCD of 16 and 9 is 144. So 144 divided by negative 16 is equal to negative 9. And our 144 divided by 9 is 16. And 144 times 1 is 144. Our next step is to factor out. So x plus 1 squared is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1. And y minus 2 squared is equal to y squared minus 4y plus 4. Then we will distribute 9. So negative 9. So negative 9 times x squared is equal to negative x squared. Negative 9 times 2x is negative 18x. And negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. And 16 times y squared. 16 times y squared is positive 16y squared. 16 times negative 4y is negative 64y. And 16 times 4 is positive 64. And we will transfer negative 44 to the left hand side. So it will be negative. So the last thing or the last part that we need to do is to arrange this. So negative 9x squared plus 16y squared minus 18x minus 64y and negative 9 plus 64 minus 164 is equal to negative 9 is equal to 0. And this is our general form given the properties of hyperbola.